Hello and a warm welcome back to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth Racecourse, the venue for our local race meeting on this Saturday, the 18th of May. It certainly looks to be a great day of racing ahead with 9 races on the program, and of course no better place to be in the Western Cape than at the races on a Saturday afternoon. As mentioned, 9 races on the card, but before we get into the preview, a small favor to ask: make sure to like, follow and subscribe all of our social media platforms as part of the Cape Racing brand, especially our YouTube channel, which has all of the information, the latest updates regarding our thoroughbreds here down in the Western Cape, including our perfectly placed interviews, which is regards to the trainer comments with their forthcoming runners for the upcoming race meeting. On Saturday, we start off in race number 1. The Hollywoodbets Kenilworth welcomes you maiden juvenile plate, and it's over 1,200 meters. Take note, this does not form part of the bipod. The bipod will start in race number 2. Place accumulator will kick off in race number 3. The pit 6 in race 4, and both jackpots 1 and 2 will start in races 5 and 6 respectively. First race of the afternoon, the off time is at 25 to 1. It's a field of 14 runners. Take note that at the time of recording, it is Thursday the 16th of May, so there are bound to be more scratchings and card changes. The first selection is number 12, Bank Street from the Vaughan Marshall stable. Ashton Aries is the jockey aboard. He's only had the 2 starts today, but showed good improvements in his second start, where he finished 2 1/4 lengths behind Otanigro, who subsequently, after that run, came out to finish second behind Shifting Path against Older Company. He certainly was not distressed in that effort, and with that sort of form line behind number 12, Bank Street, I think he is the one that they're all going to have to beat. But if you like number 12, Bank Street, on collateral form, you have to like number 10, Late December from the Greg Enion stable. He's had the 2 starts to date. On debut, he actually raced against Otanigro and Bank Street as part of that form line, and there was not much separating Late December and Bank Street. And in actual fact, Late December was fancied in his last start when the stable companion Surge of Power came home to win in Older Company as well. Late December, dropping back against his own age group, he's certainly a runner that will be involved. So 10 and 12 for the first race of the afternoon if you want to take Botstead Zaxers. Out of the debutants, number 5, Express Yourself, certainly looks to be a bit of confidence about this runner from the Justin Snaith stable. He's a son of Trippy out of Madonna by Dynasty. Richard Faree teams up with the Snaith stable. Certainly a combination throughout the course of the afternoon that will be one to follow. The comment from the stable is that he's a nice type and he is one to follow. 6, Noble Hero caught my eye. Versen Getrick's colt out of Best Kept Secret. That forms part of the Secret of Victoria family, which has produced multiple mares that have produced multiple stakes winners. And Noble Hero is actually a half-brother to Baltic Secret, who is already a stakes winner as well. Mornay Vinal rides for the Des McLachlan stable. Race number 2 is the One World Racing Syndicate maiden juvenile plate. It's over 1,200 meters, a field of 14 runners. And now this runner was actually tipped last time out. We did a preview. He's number 10, 8 on 18 from the Justin Snaith stable. Richard Faree teams up. He's had the 2 starts to date. On debut, he moved up like he was absolutely going to win comfortably. But he found one better on the day with Ramaphosa nipping him on the line. His second start, he was the hot favorite, shortened in from 13 to 10 into 6 to 10, and he was beaten 1.5 lengths by Surge of Power. So, look in the first race, wherever Late December runs, it could be a good pointer to see where number 10, 8 on 18 will finish here. For me, I think he's possibly one of the better bets on the card, and he looks to the one that they all have to beat. 11, La Pulga, he's only had the 1 start for the Candace Bass Robinson stable. Alder Demare, the jockey aboard, and in that run he raced against Older Company. He finished 4th behind Connery, was beaten 3.5 lengths. He's bound to improvement from that run. Number 3, Cumbra Vieja from the Vaughan Marshall stable in the Silks of the Gulf Racing Syndicate. So Oswald Noach is the jockey aboard. He is held by number 10, 8 on 18, based on that Ramaphosa form line. Out of the first timers, a lot of confidence coming from number 6, Circumbendibus. Certainly going to be a fun name to commentate in the race. The comment is that he's a very smart horse, but he will need the experience JP van der Merwe rides for the Glen Cotson stable. With the opening leg of the bipod, I think we can take a chance. We can bank a number 10, 8 on 18. Race number 3 is the Cape Racing Sales Maiden Juvenile Plate. It's for the fillies, and it's over 1,400 meters. The off time is at 1:45. It's the opening leg of today's place accumulator. On paper, you look at number 4, Dixieland Band, and it looks like she's the one that they all have to beat. 2 seconds in her last 2 starts But her latest effort is one that catches the eye. She finished half a length behind Babylicious over 1,400 meters. She stays over this trip once again, but from that form line, I'm actually going to take a chance here with number 11, Pentalina, the daughter of One World out of a trippy mare. Ashton Aries rides for the Vaughan Marshall stable. She lost 2 lengths at the start in that Babylicious run, and she absolutely took off in the closing stages, only to finish half a length behind Babylicious. She was just beaten on the line by Dixieland Band for that second and third placing. She does have a wide draw to overcome, but Pentalina, I think, with natural improvements expected once again, I reckon she is going to turn the form on number 4, Dixieland Band. So 11, Pentalina, a narrow first choice ahead of 4, Dixieland Band. Then a runner, number 10, Darling Girl, also part of the Babylicious form line. Wasn't really ridden out in the final 500 meters by Grant van Niekerk. Drawn 10 has a wide draw to overcome, but she absolutely took off. She was really well represented by the Piet Buerter stable. And also, I think with natural improvements under the belt, she's a runner for the quartets. I think she's going to pay nicely, a good place bet as well. So number 10, Darling Girl. For the back end of quartets, you can certainly include her. 5, White Waters, finished third on debut, absolutely took off in the closing stages. Her second start was over 1,200 meters behind Kinda Wonderful, where she finished 4th. Interesting to note that Richard Fourie is the jockey aboard for the Vaughan Marshall stable. Richard actually rode Dixieland Band in his last start. So whether he had the option between Dixieland Band or White Waters, I'm not too sure. But obviously take note of the jockey booking of Richard Fourie on number 5, White Waters. So in order of preference for race number 3, 11, Pentalina from 4, Dixieland Band, then 10, Darling Girl, and number 5, White Waters complete the quartet. Race number 4 is the Cape Turf Club Maiden Plate for fillies and mares over 1,200 meters. The off time is at 20 past 2, and this is the opening leg of the Pick 6. It does get a bit tricky later on in the day, but we are going to go short. We're going to keep it very brief here in race number 4. It should be a match race between the 2 Drakenstein runners, number 6, Be Merry, and number 7, Charlene. We'll start off with number 6, Be Merry. She's a juvenile. She's only 2 years old, the daughter of Lancaster Bomber. Richard Fourie rides for the Justin Snaith stable once again. She's only had 2 starts to date. On debut, she finished 3rd behind Tanneron, beaten 4 lengths. Improved from that run to finish half a length behind Furious Queen into 2nd. And now, being a 2-year-old, she does claim 3 kilograms here in a maiden plate, which could be the telltale difference between number 7, Charlene, who ultimately, in her last start, she was beaten by the weight she had to give away to 1,000 kisses. She's well overdue, 8 starts for 3 seconds, 2 thirds, as well as a 4th. Charlene last time out gave 8 kilograms to 1,000 kisses and was only beaten by half a length. There surely has to be a big chance for her. But I'm not going to nail my colours to the mast. 6 and 7, first leg of the Pitch 6. I don't think we need to go more than that. Race number 5 is the Cape Turf Club Syndicate's Open Maiden over 1,600 meters. This is where it gets a little bit tricky with the Open Maidens. An interesting run is number 10, Ozuri. And I'm going to say he's one of the more consistent runners, but not in form, but the way he's been improving and coming about his racing, especially in the step up and trip to 1,600 meters. He's really been running on smartly. His last effort was behind Damo, where he finished 2.5 lengths. Penultimate start was behind Verlooputki, who's come out to win since that win as well. So number 10, Ozuri, with Aldo De Meo aboard, does have 59.5 kilograms to shoulder, but certainly a runner you can't leave out, and I think he's going to be prominent in this race. Skipping back over a page to number 4, Greenland. Blinkers go on. Richard Fourie, once again for Justin Snaith. It's his second run after a gelding. Another runner who I feel is overdue. 10 starts for 3 seconds, 2 thirds, as well as a 4th. The sort of form line he brings here, half a length behind To A Penny, giving To A Penny 3.5 kilograms. That was back on the 30th of December. If he can repeat a sort of run like that with 60 kilograms on the back, he should be involved. But again, we've tipped him so many times and he fails to get his nose in front. But for the Pick 6, you can't leave him out. For Greenland, make sure to include him in your permutations. And we tipped this also a few weeks ago. Number 12, Golden Grey, is the value bet to run into the placings. And the only concern was that he raced over 1,400 meters. Well, he's back up to 1,600 meters. Expect a big run, and he'll be doing his best work late. Race number 6 is the hashtag Destination Class 4. It's over 1,400 meters, the field of 9 runners. Another race where I think we can narrow it down to just 3 horses. Starting off with number 3, Montplaisir. Richard Fourie teams up for the Brett Crawford stable. Now, he only won his maiden in his last start, but he won so easily. He beat Water Dragon by 2.5 lengths. Water Dragon from that run, well, he was tipped the other day to win. However, we won't dive too much into the kind of ride he was given, but let's just say he was an unlucky loser on that occasion. Montlosier, natural improvements. He's going about his race in the right way. I think he's the one they all have to beat. Followed by number 4, Steadfast, who fits the same camp. He also won his last race off a rating of 73. He's only received a 3-point penalty for that run, so that certainly makes him extremely competitive once again over track and trip, where he's picked up both of his career wins over. JP van der Merwe rides with the Justin Snaith stable, and after beating Slurricane by 1 length, he's certainly a runner that will be prominent once again. 6, Kiriakou, slightly inconsistent, but he's a horse on the day that you can never leave out of your equations. His merit rating has absolutely tumbled. He's now down to a 77, and the drop and trip to 1400 meters I think is going to suit him. So number 6, Kiriakou, for wider permutations include, but I'm quite confident on 3, Montlosier, and 4, Steadfast, and we'll include number 6, Kiriakou as well. If you're playing a quartet, include number 7, Dragonfly. His last 2 starts over sprinting trips, he's had the fastest 400 to finish time. He'll be absolutely flying in the closing stages. They've stepped him up to 1400 meters, and certainly will be running on into the back end of quartets. Race number 7 is the Taking the Reins Cape A Stakes, certainly the best race on the day. It's over 1400 meters, the field of 12 runners, and this sees the return of number 1, Zapateers, from the Brett Crawford stable. Louis Mkotwa is the jockey aboard, but when you look at the race card, you see 293 days since his last race, and the question marks go up. However, he runs extremely well fresh. His career stats, 5 starts for 3 wins and 1 third respectively. So Zapateers coming fresh over 1400 meters from gate number 1. He's going to be a big runner. However, I am a bit on the fence with him. He's not going to be my first choice. My first choice is going to be the course and distance specialist, number 8, Sugar Mountain, from the Candace Bass Robinson stable. Also returns from a bit of a layoff. He went up to Joburg to run in the Horse Chestnut Stakes, completely ignored that run, back down in Cape Town. Penultimate start, he finished 5th in the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met, 3 lengths off a double superlative, carrying top weights of 60 kilograms. Certainly the one I think they all have to beat, and if not in need of the run, he should take a power of beating. On the racing fitness side of things, I think number 10, Future Prince, dropping back in trip after running in the Variety Club Mile and the Lidl Eagle Stakes. He's dropping back to 1400 meters. Keenan Stain rides for the Brett Crawford stable. Racing fitness on his side, certainly going to be a big plus. Does have a wide draw to overcome, but I don't see him missing the quartet. Another runner, number 3, We Can Go All Night. Now, he's been in good form of late. Also, last start in the Variety Club Mile of 1600 meters. He finished 5th behind Rascallion. He was completely out of it at the weights. He was carrying 57 kilograms, and he absolutely took off. He was 8 lengths back at the 800 meter mark and ran on to finish 1.8 lengths behind Rascallion on that occasion. So We Can Go All Night, another runner that brings racing fitness into the race, and certainly a horse that can never be excluded from your permutations. 4, San Pedro, a dangerous front runner. He's got lightweight to shoulder, and of course the Vaughan Marshall stable has been in hot form of late here down in the Western Cape. So for wider permutations, you can include him. In order of preference, going with 8, Sugar Mountain, from 10, Future Prince, 3, We Can Go All Night, then number 1, Zapateers, and then number 4, San Pedro. Again, just a little bit cautious on those runners that are needing this run heading into the race. Race number 8 is the perfectly placed Class 4 for fillies and mares. It's over 1800 meters, the off time at 22.5, and it's the penultimate race of the afternoon. Well, number 3, Plum Pudding, what great form she is in at the moment. She's looking for a hat-trick of wins, and it seems to me that she just keeps on improving run after run. Her last start, she absolutely cruised home to win by 1 3/4 of a length, beating Summer Night City, who she reopposes here. However, she is actually 4 kilograms worse off at the waist than number 5, Summer Night City. So that certainly should bring the two closer together. But I'm still in the camp of number 3, Plum Pudding. Certainly the way that she's improving, going about her racing, the daughter of Silvana over 1800 meters, she's the one that they're going to have to beat here. 7, Hampstead Heath. Well, on collateral form line, she actually should hold number 3, Plum Pudding. When Hampstead Heath won her maiden plate back in the 3rd of March, she beat Plum Pudding by 1 1/4 lengths. And if I'm not mistaken, she's actually half a kilogram better off at the weights than what she meets 3, Plum Pudding, this time round. So wherever Plum Pudding finishes, expect number 5, Summer Night City, as well as number 7, Hampstead Heath, to be right there. 3, Plum Pudding, 5, Summer Night City, and 7, Hampstead Heath. Race number 9, the final race of the afternoon, is the Hollywoodbets Bright Future Class 4, and it's over 2,000 meters. The off time is at 5:15. Number 4, Marshall Field. How easy did he win last time out? He stalked the pace. 400 meters left to go. You can only see one horse was going to win. He was just in behind the leading quartet, switched to the outside, and he won in a comfortable manner under Elder de May. He won by 2 1/4 lengths, beating twice the master. He did receive a 6-point penalty, and he does have 61 kilograms to shoulder. But the breeding of Ideal World out of a Fort Wood mare, I think we're going to start seeing the best of Marshall Field, 10 furlongs and above. He is going to be the first selection, and I think he can follow up on that impressive victory last time out. Number 5 is Damio, a winner in his last start in the maiden plate. He's finally shed the maiden tag. That was over 1,600 meters. This is his toughest task to date distance-wise. He steps up to 2,000 meters. JP van der Merwe rides. But if you look at his penultimate starts, where he finished 3.5 lengths behind Hollywoodbets into second, we mentioned Hollywoodbets early on in the preview about what he's done subsequently after coming out of the maiden ranks, and that certainly holds number 5 Damio in good stead here, especially that he's out of a Judd Pot mare as well. A runner that is at a very good each-way price. I think he was 16-1 the last time I checked the betting. That's number 3, Mr. Monocle. He might not win here, but watch going into the winter season. His wet record, 5 starts for 3 wins, a second and a third. Robert Carty rides the Justin Snaith yard. Third run after arrest. His first run after arrest, he finished 10 lengths behind Aspect. Last time out, he finished 6.5 lengths behind Green Mandarin. Improving since his layoff run. He's certainly going to be involved. I think he is definitely going to run in the first 4. And while the price is good, maybe have a place bet in each way prospect. Course and distance stats, 2 of his 3 wins have been over this track and trip. Mr. Monocle, certainly a lurker in the field that can run a big race. 7 is Southern Son, Louis and Cockler for the Brett Crawford stable. Model of consistency, but that's what he is. He's consistent. He doesn't get his head down where it matters most. 483 days since his last win. But his last 2 starts, he's finished second and he finished third behind Love is a Rose. So certainly Southern Song, despite having to step up in class here, I think he will finish in the quartet. In order of preference, 4 Marshall Field, from 5 Damio, then number 3 Mr. Monocle to try and add a bit of an upset, and 7 Southern Song to complete the quartet. But those are the runners and the riders for our race meeting on Saturday the 18th of May. The suggested play, we're going to put our necks down on the wire. We're going to do a pick 6. So in order, starting off in race number 4, 6 and 7 by 4, 6, 10, 12, 14 and 15, by 3, 4 and 6 in the third leg, then 1, 3, 4, 8 and 10, by 3, 5, 7 and 8, and in the last leg 3, 4 and 5, and that will come to 216 Rand for 10% of the pick 6. Hopefully we catch it and you stand in the queue, but that is the suggested play for racing here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth Racecourse on Saturday. Looks to be a great card, and if you're in the area, make sure to come down to one of the best race courses in the country, and hopefully we'll see you on track this Saturday.